Hey guys, it's Julie here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and like this if you like what you see. Today I wanted to get on here and get a little personal with you and tell you about my mental illness and what I struggle with. And not only that, I don't want to just have a long video about my mental illness. Oh, poor pitiful me. I want to also kind of give you tips on how to deal with mental illness, because I know there's a lot of people out there that struggle with that and they don't really know how to deal with it. Just for reference, I am going to be looking at my handy dandy book right here. So yeah, sorry, and I don't have editing software to like kind of jump cut and kind of be like, okay, well, get the ums out, get this out, you know, me looking at that, so I'm sorry about that in advance. Also, do you like my Christmas tree? I like it. I know it's like a week till Thanksgiving, but whatever. Also, this lipstick, love this lipstick. It's from Perfectly Posh. It's the Vial Love the Wine You're With, and I know I'm wearing pink and red doesn't go with pink, but oh well, I like it, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to tell you what illnesses I have. I have borderline personality disorder, manic depressive bipolar, oppositional defiance disorder, and ADHD. Borderline personality disorder, there's so many aspects to that I really can't explain it in a really simple way, because there's so many different variations of it. So, but the main one that I struggle with is that I have a good heart, okay? I really do. I am a good-natured person, down-to-earth person, non-confrontational, just sweet as can be person. But with my my illness, I can go one day and I can see someone struggling in a parking lot, and normally I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go help the person, but then I'd be like, fuck you, I'm not gonna do that. Excuse my language, but that's what I would think. Or my family struggling or whatever, and I would just be like, no, I ain't gonna help you. That is the illness. That is kind of the personality part. It switches. You go from one extreme of being really, really helpful to being like, screw you, I'm not gonna help you. Why the hell do you want my help? How dare you ask me? So that is kind of what I struggle with, but there's so many variations of it that it's ridiculous. And I struggle with other stuff, but that's the main thing. Manic depressive bipolar, I'm sure you probably know what that is. If you don't, it is mania. The manic is mania, and that is when you have a really, 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 really high, you're very happy, you're high on life, you're motivated, you're going to go start a business, you're going to do all your dreams, you're going to go make some money, blah, blah. Depressive is depression, and that's your lows. So you can go from mania, really, really high, to depressive, which is really, really low. It's where you want to kill yourself, if it's that extreme. You don't want to be here, you just want to die, you just want to sleep all day. You don't want to see anybody. You just want to go in your little hole and not have anybody have anything to do with anything. And then bipolar is those two things, the highs and the lows. I don't have as much mania as I do depression, or the depressive part of it. I'm depressed a lot. I would say the majority of my life is depression. But I have ways that I deal with that, and I'll get to those in a minute. And then oppositional defiance disorder, I have conquered more than any of my illnesses. And that is when an adult or somebody, tells me to do something, I'm like, excuse you, who the hell do you think you are telling me what to do? And I won't do it. That is why I was in foster care for a while, is because my family was trying to help me with my illnesses, with my behaviors, with school, with everything. And I was like, hell no, I'm not letting you help me. So I chose to go into foster care. That's a story for another day, but that's an example. And ADHD, everybody knows that. Can't focus, jiggle all the time, fidgety. I don't have a severe case of that, but I do have a very mild case of that. I do have to fidget a lot right now. I'm shaking my leg. I'm fidgeting. I have to do something. So there's that. So with the depression, I want to have anxiety too, but that kind of goes with the BPD and the bipolar. But anxiety, everybody knows what anxiety is, so I'm not really going to explain that one. But I have severe anxiety, which can turn into depression and all that. Ways to deal with all these things is, number one, wake up earlier. You're like, why do you need to wake up earlier? A big part of depression is wanting to sleep all day, wanting to stay in bed all day, wanting to curl up in a ball and watch Netflix or whatever. But you gotta force yourself to get up. I have this app, I think it's called Alarmy, and what it does is you set it for a time, and then you can pick from doing a math problem to, I don't know what the other things. I do the math problem, and you can set the difficulty of it, and you have to solve the problems before it turns off. It will not turn off until you solve those problems, which wakes up your mind and gets you awake. That has helped me a lot because I'm one of those people that can go right back to sleep, but once my mind is working and moving, I can get up. That is my tip on like waking up. I got that from another YouTuber, Kaylin Nicholson. She does that in her video, How to Wake Up Early or something like that. Maybe it's that one. But that's where I got it from, and it has worked for me ever since. So kudos to her. If you need any life advice, let me tell you, go to her. She's amazing. So yeah, there's that. Then another one is make a routine. Like, I know everybody has a routine of getting ready. It's brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, doing your makeup, putting your clothes on, all that. But I'm talking about like an everyday routine that you do every day. Like, you wake up at 6 a.m. Waking up earlier goes hand in hand with this. So you wake up at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. or 10, whatever. We'll say 8. You wake up at 8, you get up, you go to the bathroom, then you go make your bed, okay, and then you go eat breakfast, drink a cup of coffee, then you go brush your teeth, and then you don't go back to bed. You watch TV for a while, go to work, edit YouTube videos, read a book. Just make a routine for you, like something you would do every single day, and make it, I mean, it's going to change up day to day, but just make that and stick with it. And what I do, which I know seems kind of like grade school type thing, but whenever I go a day doing my routine and sticking with it, I get a dry erase marker and I tally it on my bathroom mirror. And then whenever I get up in the morning and I see that, you know, because sometimes you get up in the morning and even though you had that alarmy, you're going to want to go to bed. But if you see that tick mark, the tallies, you're going to be like, okay, I did it for 10 days. I can do it for one day. If I did it for 10 days, I can do it for one day. I can do it today. And just kind of keep that mindset about it. That's what I do to help me visually see, okay, I want to keep this up type thing. And stick with that, like, because that helps you more than anything, because when you make a routine and you stick with it, you don't really have time to be depressed. Like, I didn't have a job there for a while. I was just going to school, and let me tell you, having a job helps me a lot because I'm in the routine. I'm at work, I'm doing stuff, I'm helping customers, I'm stocking food, I'm doing all these things, and it helps me to get in a routine and not sit at home and be depressed. You see what I mean? Take care of yourself. Okay, in your routine, make sure you have a skincare routine. That way you don't have flare-ups going up, because that can trigger depression. You know, if you have a flare-up, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so ugly. I understand that. I've been there. So I got a skincare routine where I use face masks and I use bath bombs and I use all these things, which part of it is because I'm a Perfectly Posh consultant. But if you take care of yourself and you do these things like face masks and skincare routines and everything, you can't pour from an empty cup. Okay, you have to take care of yourself. You know, if you're not filling that cup up by taking care of yourself, you can't pour from that. You can't put that out in the world. You can't put that goodness out in the world. You can't put that goodness out for yourself. So take care of yourself. Whether that be using a face mask every night, taking a bath, whatever, just take care of yourself. I think you understand what I'm saying. Get out and move. Like, just do stuff. Get a job. Hang out with friends and family. I have a full-time job. Well, it's a part-time job. I have a part-time job, and sometimes I still come home and I'm a little depressed, so I'll go to my aunt's house. I always go to my aunt's house. She lives 10 minutes away from me, and I'll go over there and I'll be like, hey, can I just hang out with you? I'm not really feeling that great. Can we go watch a movie or something? Because being with people and doing stuff, whether that be hanging out with family, whether that be going bowling, just it gets your mind off things. Because if you're sitting at home and sulking, your mind can be a dark place, and that is not helping you, because you're just inviting those thoughts in if you do that. So if you're having, a down day, go do something. Go hang out with family. It doesn't have to cost money. Just go hang out with family. Go hang out with friends. Go do that kind of stuff. Go work out. I mean, I don't know. What's your thing? Another thing that I should have mentioned before these things is know your illness. I, for the longest time, could not help myself. And it was because I did not know myself. I did not know my illness. I couldn't identify when I was manic or when I was depressed. I couldn't do these things. And if you cannot do those things, you don't know how to help yourself. You cannot help yourself if you don't know yourself. So please just try and sit down and think about instances in your life, like, oh, wow, I went off at that lady at the store, or I got really mad at her because she went in line in front of me, or, something simple that you would be like, oh, okay, well, maybe that was a little overboard, so maybe my anxiety's up today. Maybe I'm manic, or maybe I'm depressed. Or I went out and I shopped and I spent $100 at the Dollar Tree. What in the world is wrong with me? I'm probably manic right now, because mania, that's another symptom of it, is shopping. So maybe that's it. So you gotta know yourself. You go? Okay? And be realistic with your goals. Like, don't set such high, take baby steps. Don't set such high standards that you can't reach them, because if you can't reach them, my TV just turned on. Hang on just a second. Alright, sorry about that. And I can't edit that out, so I'm sorry. And you saw my rocket ship pants. But anyway, be realistic with your goals, because if you set such high goals that something that's going to be 10 years down the road, you're going to get depressed. I'm sorry, because if you don't set mini goals in between that 10-year span, you're going to get depressed, because you're like, I'm not getting anywhere, and you're just going to, even though you are getting somewhere, you're just going to think, I'm not getting anywhere, oh my gosh, I hate myself, blah, blah, blah. You got to set mini goals as well as big goals. You can't just, you know what I mean? So there's that. Don't spend money. Don't do it. Unless you're treating yourself every once in a while, do not spend your money. Especially if you're bipolar, because spending your money creates depression. Because you're manic, and you're going out and spending money, and you're, Kristen would really love this, and Bob would really love this, and blah, 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 blah. Or, I would really like this. I really need this. I really need these nail clippers because the ones I have at home are dull. And you make up excuses in your head and you start buying all this shit, because then when you get home and you realize how much you spent, right then you're going to spiral back down in depression. You do not want that. You don't. That's just the fact of it all. So just stick with the budget. I'm going to do a budgeting video here soon that will help you with budgeting. But stick with your budget. Have a certain amount set out for you to spend on yourself, to treat yourself with. That way, and you stick with it, so whenever you're manic, you're like, just remember, I have a budget, I need to stick with this. I don't want to be depressed, I want to stay happy and everything. So there you go. Take pictures. I know that's kind of a weird one. You're like, how is that helping you with your illness? Well, when you're manic, or you're happy, or you're not manic, if you don't have bipolar, you're just happy, take pictures. Take pictures of your dogs. Take pictures of the flower. Take pictures of the great day you had with your friends. Because then whenever you're depressed, you can look back on them and be like, well, wasn't that such a good day? It's not always so bad. It's not always like this. It can be better. You know, just kind of just do that to look back on. Not necessarily 10 years from now, but, you know, whenever you are depressed, that way you realize that there is good in the world, and that it's not always going to be like this, and you can get through this because you've done it before. I have some more tips that I could probably share with you, but those are the main ones. I might do a video that's kind of like a sequel to this to tell you more tips, but those are my main tips. I hope they help you. Comment down below if they did, or if you liked any of them, and tell me which ones you liked, because I'd really like to know. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked it. Like and subscribe if you liked this video, and I'll see you next week.